What's going on, everyone? It's Justin here, and today I've got a very exciting video. Because as someone who's covered smartphones for over the last decade, I've seen all the different progressions of smartphone design, technology, improvements, innovations, camera tech, and so much more. And with the rise of folding phones and flipping phones, this has been something that has been talked about a lot in the last couple years. And in today's video, we're not only looking at two smartphones that feature amazing hardware and engineering from TECNO, but I'm also going to be flying to Shenzhen, China to give you an unprecedented access to the R&D lab, testing, and production line of these brand new smartphones that you've never seen before. If you guys want to win a TECNO Phantom V Flip2 smartphone, just go ahead and drop a like on this video, a comment down below as to what is the most interesting part of the production process to you is. Subscribe to the channel and also leave a comment down below with your Instagram username because we'll be contacting the winner directly on Instagram in 2 weeks, and a huge thanks to TECNO for sponsoring this video. So today we're checking out the brand new Phantom smartphones from the TECNO lineup, and it features the Phantom V Flip2 as well as the Phantom V Fold2. And even though there's so much to talk about when it comes to hardware, software, and AI technology, this video is going to focus on the hardware and how these smartphones feature some of the top specs on the market and design and hardware engineering, while coming at price points that are far more competitive than some of their main counterparts. So we've taken a tour to the TECNO manufacturing factory here in Shenzhen, and I'm going to be bringing you through a world exclusive look at these new smartphones being assembled months before their initial release to public. This really is the most exclusive look that you're ever going to get in the most detail, and we get to see every step of the process. As someone who's been covering smartphones for 13 years, this is the first time I've ever gotten any type of access like this, and I'm so excited to show you. So let's go ahead and get started with this tour. So now that we're in the facility, I'm excited to walk you through the natural chronological order of the smartphone production process, from the R&D to chipset to final assembly and quality control before packaging. We started off the tour with all of the quality control testing that they do. They put each product through a rigorous process of testing that makes sure that every phone is more than capable of enduring your extreme everyday life and usage. We saw them testing the resiliency of the devices in extreme temperatures, back and forth between extreme cold and extreme heat, as well as resistance to corrosion when in salty environments. This is important because TECNO sells phones around the world to a variety of climates and some of the most exotic climates on Earth. Some of the more visibly interesting and fun tests, on the other hand, were the water resistance test, the screen scratch test, and my personal favorite, the drop test. All of these tests were really to take the worst possible scenario of your phone in a daily life and exaggerate it even more to make sure that your device can take whatever life throws at it. Their lab can test the water resistance up to a grade of IP68, and it was really cool to see how methodical everything was in terms of testing and simulating real life scenarios. From the drop test, for example, I really asked them to push this to the limits, beyond the reasonable doubt of how high you would drop your smartphone. And in addition to that, another one of my favorite demonstrations was this X-ray CT scan medical machine that they actually placed devices in to be able to have an X-ray look into all of the internals and components packed into these folding and flip phones, to be able to see how efficiently they've engineered all of the different parts and their placements to just optimize and see through the X-ray as to how they can continue to improve the layout of the device for a maximum efficiency in terms of cooling and also form factor. Because the new Phantom V Fold2 and Phantom V Flip2 are both folding phones, everywhere you went you would see machines testing the rigidity of the hinge and the screen, and these phones have been able to withstand a total of 400,000 folds before being deemed clear for circulation. This is something that is beyond the expected lifespan of any smartphone at this day and age, and you can tell that the quality assurance was a major part of TECNO's mission. For a company like TECNO that is constantly innovating and developing new tech, an extensive quality control and testing facility is crucial. The next step in our tour was the silicon facility, where some of the major components such as the chipset were being made in-house. This is a completely clean facility. This facility had hygiene at its top because of any dust and external components that can affect the process, and from there we were able to see motherboards, and chips printed from the very beginning. As all the components come from one stage to the other, these are the parts that we're going to see put together on the assembly floor later in the tour. This is really the first time I've seen anything like this, and it's where the life and the brain of the smartphone all begins. After a morning of quality assurance, we took a step back in the process and saw how phones were made step by step. The facility was packed with a team of skilled workers in combination with advanced machine to quickly and effectively assemble all of the intricate pieces of TECNO devices. You could see with every step, they were taking their time, inspecting after every step to assure that these devices were being assembled correctly, and with so many individual pieces, it's really important to double check that everything is as it should be. Whether it was putting together the screen and the digitizer, the hinge mechanism, cameras, batteries, motherboard, chipsets, and the external material, these production lines moved from one stage to the other and were tested every single time in a real-world scenario. Throughout the assembly, you could see that they were manually testing phones when needed, whether that be to see that they were drawing power or that the camera was focusing and rendering a clean, sharp image, to whether or not the software was properly installed and operative in conjunction with all of the hardware components. The attention to detail was so obvious. This was really an eye-opening experience, just seeing how much goes into each and every device that comes from TECNO, and it really makes you appreciate the product even more, knowing how much work and detail has gone into R&D and production on a device that you just kind of use every day. I want to give a huge thanks to TECNO for allowing me to tour their facility and for giving me the opportunity to learn a bit more about how some of my favorite tech products are made. It was really a privilege to have a world's first look at some of the devices that have not been released to the world yet, but are part of the leading innovation of folding and flip phone technology that has really been pushing the smartphone industry, especially in the last few years. As companies start to try to produce the best devices product in this field, it's crazy how many leaps and bounds companies have already made in a few years, and TECNO is a great example of a company that has not only made an incredibly strong flagship caliber device, but at a much more affordable price point that hasn't otherwise really been seen in the foldable phone industry. So now that we've seen the whole process behind how these smartphones are produced, what exactly do I think of their final creation? So as you take a look at the phone, the hardware is one that has a hybrid design. You take a look at the edges, they're nicely rounded off to give the illusion of a very thin smartphone design, and there is a zero gap presence here, and so I don't really feel any durability issues when I'm just using the phone as it is. The fact that it has a 32 megapixel camera on the front is nice, and there's also another one as you open up the phone. These displays are LTPO 120Hz AMOLED screens, and it has a peak brightness of 2000 nits, which is improved from last year by pretty much double, and it's evident in HDR content, but the display is really solid. The colors are well calibrated, it's nicely saturated, and it has that level of sharpness and balance while also maintaining a very minimal crease on the front, which is always one of the most important things when it comes to a folding phone. And I mean, from a hardware standpoint, I think they've done a really good job. The camera element on the back is unified into one singular modular that does stick out a little bit, but it features a triple camera setup. The main camera is an f1.9 aperture. You can capture 4K video, and I love how all three of the cameras feature that 50 megapixel resolution, and that is especially handy because you can use it for stuff like lossless zoom. As you can see from the samples here, the range is pretty impressive. And I mean, for a smartphone that has a somewhat value perspective and is more affordable than something like a Samsung or the new Google Pixel, which in Canada is like $2,700, on paper, it really does have all of the specs checked off. As for the actual power delivery, it is a MediaTek Dimensity 9000 Plus, and it comes stock with 512 gigs of storage, 12 gigabytes of RAM, and so they've really packed in all of the top specs at the moment into this smartphone. On top of some of the other small details is the Dolby audio. The stereo speakers on the phone are really good. You have them on the top and the bottom grille, and typically we only see the speakers on the bottom grille, and so when you're just enjoying your multimedia like this, you're able to enjoy the sound coming from both sides. As for the battery life, 5,700 milliamp hours, and that is divided into two and placed on both sides of the smartphone. But a 5,700 milliamp hour battery is really respectable because sometimes when folding phones are even thinner, they end up sacrificing a little bit of battery life. And even though 5,000 milliamp hours is pretty good, having over 5,700 milliamp hours is obviously even better. And the fact that you can fast charge it at 70 watts is impressive because it is able to take advantage of the dual cell design in charging both sides of the battery individually while maintaining the safety of the device. So I would say that when it comes to the design, it does have a very good hybrid approach. It's not the thinnest out there, but it has a good battery life. It has a flat screen and a bit of a curvature on the side. The stereo speakers have been implemented. There's no sacrifices or compromises on the triple camera setup. And when it comes to the hardware design, the phone just feels rock solid, nicely weighted, and this right here is in the karst green color option, and it is a fused fiberglass material that almost has a similar design to forged carbon fiber. And so this feels really nice. It has a good way of hiding fingerprints, and the baby blue color in the leather finish is also beautiful, and I always love it whenever phones implement leather. On the other hand, the Phantom V Flip2 is interesting. I love the fact that it is so portable, and on top of that, the way that they've carved the display around the flash and the camera just makes it seem like a very seamless design that takes advantage of the AMOLED display technology to just blend right into the black glass, and with the stock wallpaper, it essentially looks seamless. Once you need to open things up, just flip it open, and there you have it. A 6.9-inch display, and it is a tall design. So for scrolling through feeds, productivity for example, going through X, even watching YouTube videos, you have space to have your hands on each side and not cover any of what is playing on screen. And it also features the Dolby Atmos technology. The 250 megapixel cameras on the back allow you to take advantage of the 30 to 150 degree folding screen to be able to get the best quality possible while being versatile with your angles. And I think that is always one of the most underrated features when it comes to a folding phone. There's also a retro DV mode that allows you to use the phone in a half fold grip and film as if it was an old school camcorder, which is both useful and nostalgic at the same time. And it just really opens up a lot of capabilities depending on what you would like, and even just scrolling through stuff. It kind of takes you back in the day of the flip phones while having an infinite display and also having a pull display on the front. One way that TECNO has been able to really take advantage of the larger display is the V Pen stylus. It is a multifunctional and lightweight pen that weighs just 10 grams, has 2 buttons, and one of which serves as an AI key to access all of the device's AI functions, and one function key for quick operations such as flipping pages, changing songs, taking photos, and more. So I think that is like a cool accessory that allows you to really take advantage of everything on the smartphone. And one way that I could think of is if I'm editing photos in Lightroom, for example, using the Magic Eraser and AI tools built within that, or the camera app allows you to take the photos that you've edited and just edit them directly on your phone. But otherwise, this has been an incredible once-in-a-lifetime experience. It was my first time in Shenzhen and a first time back in China in over 10 years, and it was honestly such a good time. And with so much innovation going on in China, in Shenzhen, and a lot of the devices that we review and feature on the channel coming from China as an origin, it's just cool to be able to see firsthand all of the R&D, innovation, and excitement in the technology world that has been there for so many years without us visiting, and there's just so much more to come with the potential in the future. TECNO is also building a new factory in Chongqing, and so I hope that is our next trip to China, and I just wanted to give you a bit of a sneak preview of that for something to look forward to into 2025. And as always, if you guys enjoy this video and like this kind of content and hope for some more behind the scenes access in the future, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one.